So today I'm making chicken stuffed with rice and onion, and then I'm gonna put some other stuff in there too. So to prep, I'm just going and making my rice quickly. I will put a link below to how I make my rice so you guys can see it, but I'm just gonna start with this dish with boiling my rice. We're gonna cut up our onions. I'm gonna show you how I make those to put inside of the rice and the chicken breast, and we will go from there. So first we're gonna need onions. So this is what I'm using. I'm using some white onions. I genuinely don't know why they're this shape, but we're gonna need onions. I love our onions that are caramelized, so we're gonna be using 4 today. So we'll need those. Then you shall need some cooked rice. I've already cooked this rice. I do have a rice cooking video if you guys want to check it out. I do strain my rice, I do boil it, and I do drain the water that it cooks in. So if you're curious as to how I make this, on my channel there's a how to make rice video, so you check that out, okay? Then you're gonna need some pepper. This is the kind I have, just fresh ground. It's super cheap at the grocery, or you could just get the regular pepper. We're gonna need some of that. Then, you guys know I talk about this all the time, but this is our kosher salt. This is the brand, and she's just fantastic. I love it. This perfect kosher salt. So we need that one. And then, we're also gonna need some garlic. I'm using garlic powder today because I don't really want to sit here and chop garlic. I'm just not in the mood. I feel like this recipe is supposed to be easy, so let's take it easy. So garlic powder. Then, the star of the show, we're gonna be using mayonnaise. We're gonna put this in the rice, and we are going to stuff our chicken breasts with the onions, the mayonnaise, the seasonings, and then we are going to bake it. I like cheese in this, but my husband doesn't, so I'm going to make it without cheese today. But I'm telling you, if you have some Gouda laying around, chop it up, put it in this recipe. It's amazing. Then we are going to need some sugar. This is the kind I use. We're gonna need that today. So let's go ahead and start chopping our onions, and we will put the recipe together. All right, guys, so before I ever chop anything, I always sharpen my knife, and this is how you do it. This is a knife sharpener. This is what it looks like. Typically comes in any knife block, so just go like that. And if I'm doing it wrong, don't come for me in the comments. This is how my mom taught me. Just kidding. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna sharpen it. And then what I always do is I just take a dry cloth and I wipe it like that, because there's all these little things that come on that you wanna make sure you get off your knife before you use it. Okay, cool. So now we're ready to go ahead and start chopping our onions. I'm just gonna start with this little guy. How I chop an onion is really simple. Just this side, turn her over, this side, scraps, cut here, take off the first layer, and then start chopping. For this recipe, you don't really need to chop anything specific, like any specific style or any specific length or anything, guys. Just do how you feel, you know? I try and make my recipes all like that, kind of just, if you're not feeling a certain type of way and you don't want something in it, leave it out, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So I'm just gonna rough chop these, nothing crazy, because we're gonna caramelize them anyway. So just, again, this is a take it easy on yourself recipe, so let's do that. I'm gonna chop my core out, toss that over there, chop my core out, toss that over there. And I am doing 4 onions, but if you guys don't fancy onions like that, again, you know, leave them out. You can totally do that. That's one thing I love about cooking, especially recipes you make yourself, is that like you could edit them and you don't have to abide by rules, you know? So if you guys are feeling like you don't want to do something when you cook, just don't. It's that simple. That's why I love cooking, because you're the boss in the kitchen, you know? Like, you don't have to listen to rules or have stress. You could just cook freely and just be who you are, whoever it is that day, you know? So I'm chopping like this one, and again, I'm doing a super rough chop because I'm not in the mood to chop everything into oblivion today. Do that. So you guys, I'm gonna tell you something funny. Everybody asks me what I use to record my videos. I have an iPhone 11 and it works awesome. So if you guys have an iPhone, like, I highly suggest using it for videos. I just use different tripods every time I film, so it's not always the same one, it's always different, to get like different angles for you guys and try and figure out what you guys like best in terms of like how I chop things on camera, or how it's gonna look or whatever. So I always try and get the best angle and just do what I think you guys are gonna like watching. And a lot of the times, you guys, what I do, this is gonna sound so silly, but I oftentimes watch other people's videos, and if I like watching a specific style, like an upright style like this, kind of like a tasty video, I'll do this. Or if I like it, you know, shooting from the side, I'll do that. But I always try and just do what I think people are going to like. And how I do that is, a lot of my followers are like me. Like, you guys like things that are entertaining, you guys like personable stuff, so I try and give you that in videos. So some videos I'm talking, because honestly sometimes, guys, I watch videos and I'm like, oh, you're talking so much. I'm sure someone probably feels that way right now about this video. But yeah, I try and give you guys what I like to see. Because the whole reason why I started YouTube is because I really love listening to people. I know that sounds so crazy, but like, I feel like you can learn so much from other human beings, and you can really take from their experiences. So I really love just watching people cook, because there's something about cooking that just puts you at peace, and everything in the world that wasn't good, when you cook, it's like, it's gone, you know? And it's just really nice, and you feel free. So that is my third onion. This is my fourth one. Typically I get my produce from Publix, but if Publix is too expensive, which oftentimes they are, I'll go to like Winn-Dixie, or I'll go to like the market or whatever. But yeah, that's typically where I get my produce. So what have you guys been doing during quarantine? I feel like I've never done one of these videos where we're just like chatting. I did a couple in the beginning because I was kind of just getting the hang of it, but then I wanted to just test things out and see, like, you know, shooting styles. Is it better to chat? Is it not better? What do you guys like? And I feel like I have a mixed bunch. Like, I feel like I have people who like videos where I'm chatting, and I feel like I have people where they like the quiet videos, which I like both. I like doing both. I like voicing over on videos. I like editing them in a specific way. Like, I genuinely really like both. All right, so these are my onions. I'm just gonna go ahead and like chop some of them. I think they need to be a little smaller. All right, so here we are with our chopped onions. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and heat my pan up, and then the next time you guys see me, we're gonna be at the pan, okay? So let me do that. All right, guys, so my pan has been heating up for maybe like 3 minutes now, and I'm using canola oil today. I just put my oil in these little cute bottles. I really like them just for aesthetic reasons. So I'm gonna go around the pan. I'd probably say that's like 4 tablespoons. Y'all know I'm nothing for measurements, so if you're looking for specific measurements, I always put it in the description box below. So it also, if you need anything, I respond back to comments like super quick. So while I'm doing that and our pan is still heating up for the onions, I'm gonna go ahead and set my stove to 375. So big 375, and that can preheat while we are getting our onions together. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my onions in here. And basically what you wanna do with this recipe is you wanna caramelize the onions, and that's something that you can do without sugar. Like, I always say this, but like, if you guys are, you know, diabetic, or you're not a fan of like using sugar in your recipes, because I feel like I do that a lot. I have a lot of sugar in my recipes. Just don't do it, you know? Like, you totally don't have to. You could use sugar that's not sugar, like a sugar substitute. You can do that too. But basically what we want to do is we want to sweat the onions, and I did cut them a little big, so I'm sure it's going to take a tad bit longer, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm definitely not one for measurements. I never really have been. I got that from my mom. She's very like, she's very whimsical in the kitchen, and I think that's what makes her food so good, because she just feels it. You know, this is the other thing, you guys, is I literally made this recipe up. I had like Gouda cheese in my fridge, and I had like this much of it, and I was like, okay, I have Gouda cheese, I have onions, and I have chicken thighs. Like, what am I even gonna make? So I was like, all right, cool, well, let's saute these onions, and like, let's kind of see where it goes. I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world who's made this recipe, but it's good. It's really good. I love onions. Do you guys like onions like that? I love them. Like, I really like them. But yeah, so during quarantine, I've been on TikTok like a crazy person. And I never thought that I was going to download TikTok. But, you know, we all do a lot of things in life we never think we're going to do. But do you guys watch TikTok? Let me know. I love it. So I'm going to do some salt. Probably about a teaspoon, just to help the onions sweat a little bit. And then I always like to do my pepper a little bit after this. But yeah, I really love this recipe. The chicken stays in for quite some time to bake, because basically what I do is I'll put a layer of rice. Then I will put the, I'll mix the onions and I'll mix the rice. That's why I always make the rice first, so the rice can cool off. And then I will mix the rice and the onions together. I'll put the mayonnaise in the rice with the onions. And then I'll do a little bit more garlic powder. And the sugar is already in the onions, because I'm going to put sugar in here. And so when you put all those flavors together, it's so good. I don't even know what it is. It's just awesome. But yeah, I like bigger chunks of onions. I really do. I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit. It was on medium high, but now I have it on high. I'm not a patient cook at all. I'm really not. I'm really not like a patient. I like things that are quick. And I don't necessarily like one-pot recipes. I like things that are pretty complex, just because I'm extra. But you guys don't have to be like that. You know, you could be simple. You could just make it easy. Life shouldn't be hard when you're cooking. It definitely shouldn't be hard when you're cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and add my pepper. With the pepper, you can do as little or as much as you want. I like a lot of pepper, obviously, so I'm doing a lot. And my husband likes a lot of pepper, but if you don't like a lot of pepper, went overboard, don't put it. And I already washed my chicken. I typically freeze my meat when I get back from the grocery store, because I only shop every 2 weeks, or sometimes even like once a month. Typically it's been once like every 18 to 19 days. I know, I have it like down to a science. How crazy is that? Well, because you guys know we're on lockdown right now, so in the US, you kind of want to like not go out as much as you can, you know? So we're just sweating out the onions. I always like to cook my onions until they're pretty translucent, and then I add the sugar. So like we're almost there, but not there yet. But yeah, like I was saying, so I only go to the grocery store once every, I don't know, I mean, like I said, like 18, 19 days. So I always freeze my meat, because if you don't freeze your meat, it's gonna get bad. So I typically freeze it straight away. So that's just garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up really quick. So with the garlic, again, it's like to taste. If you don't like garlic like that, you can 100% leave this out. And if you're still using the mix that I tell you to do with the rice, it'll still taste the same. So we'll just mix it like that. I'm gonna do a little bit more oil in here. I'm gonna kind of bring my onions all together as a little family. There you go. I'm gonna do a little bit more canola oil. And just like a little bit more pepper. But yeah, so I've been obsessed with TikTok during quarantine. I have also really been loving watching YouTube. It's so funny because we got cable and like we don't even watch it. Other than the Golden Girls. Okay, if you are a fan of the Golden Girls, like this video right now. We're friends officially. Oh my god, you guys. If anybody knows me, you know that I am absolutely obsessed with the Golden Girls. I love them. I have watched them since I was a kid. My grandma used to watch me when I was younger, and she would turn them on. And now that I'm watching some of them as I'm older, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, this is racy, you know? Like, it's very, like, lewd sometimes, but it's the best show. When you're a kid, you don't understand those things until you get older. And I was young. I was like 8, 9, 10, you know, I was a kid. But it's literally one of my favorite shows. Okay, so now that we're here, about like 1 more minute, we're gonna go ahead and put in the sugar. So, there we go. But yeah, I'm gonna do more garlic, guys. I absolutely love the Golden Girls. And then if you guys are fans of any other spices, put that in here too. You know, I mean, this is a recipe that you can really play with. It's literally just chicken breast or chicken thighs. I'm doing chicken thighs today, but chicken breast or chicken thighs that's stuffed. So if you are not a fan of any of these things, don't use it, you know? I'm such an advocate for that. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, I hate recipes where they're like, if you don't use this, it's gonna taste completely different. Then I don't wanna make it, because I probably can't make it how I want. And who likes that? No one, you know? But yeah, the Golden Girls, I'm absolutely obsessed. And then there's this one girl on TikTok that like, I just adore her. She has this thing where she's like, I don't want it. If you guys know her, comment below. She's like my fave. So for sugar, I'm gonna do like a hefty amount. Do like this much. I think that was like 5 to 6 tablespoons. And then we're gonna mix it again. I feel like the sweetness with the sugar makes it taste so good. I just love it. And mayonnaise is just made out of eggs and oil. So really you're just helping the rice combine when you put that in the mixture. But see how our onions are like getting brown now? That's how I want it. And again, if you want to use fresh garlic, if you want to put other spices in here, do it, you know? Don't let anyone stop you from being creative in the kitchen. So we're gonna let that go. And then when I mix the rice and the onions, you can put the onions in there hot. You can put, you know, you can do that if you want to. Either way, it's gonna taste the same. And if you don't want your chicken breast stuffed and you just wanna cook it on top of the rice with the onions and with the caramelized onions and the rice, you totally can too. It's not, again, it's not a recipe where it's like, you have to follow it to a T. This is literally something that I had literally nothing else to cook in my kitchen, in my fridge during quarantine. And I was like, we'll make something with this and bake it. Whenever in doubt, just bake it, you know? Like, I feel like so many people, they're always like, what are we making today? I'm like, put it in the oven. It'll taste good. I was so bad at making different meats before I met my husband. He really taught me a lot. But it's because I don't like washing it. That's why I like things with no bones. Are you guys like that too? You don't eat meat without bones? I cannot be bothered. I just don't like it. So for me, this is pretty good. I'm gonna let this sit for just a second and then I'm gonna come back to you guys when we're ready to mix, okay? Hey guys, so hey guys, so I just wanted to show you this really quick before I turned off my camera and went to me mixing, but this is how I ended with my onions. So I'm gonna take them off now and I mix everything up. Okay guys, so I have my rice here and this is just long grain rice. This isn't like basmati or anything, it's just regular plain rice, and I cooked it and I strained it and I did my whole rice cooking thing, and now I'm gonna add my onions in here. So I'm just gonna go like so and get all that deliciousness in there. I love to add like the oil also because it just makes it taste so much better. And look at how like 4 onions is basically nothing in this recipe. Honestly, I should have used like 6. And then we're just gonna mix it up like that. But how bomb does that look? And then what I do when I put cheese in it, guys, is I put the cheese in right now so that when it's cooking in the oven, oh, there's like so much cheesy goodness. It's delicious. All right, so we're about there. And then I'm gonna do a little bit more sugar in here. Just a tad bit. So I'm gonna put like this much more sugar. And those little specks in my sugar, you guys, it's literally instant coffee. I'll put my like instant coffee spoon in the sugar all the time. I know, don't come for me in the comments. Well, nobody's perfect, you know? Okay, so that's mixed up. And then I'm gonna put my mayonnaise in here now, and I'll show you guys how much I put. So I love this mayonnaise. I use Hellmann's. It's my fave. I don't ever use any other mayonnaise. You can use Miracle Whip if you're a Miracle Whip fan, but I would probably say we're gonna use like a half a cup in here and then mix it in, maybe a little more. That's like my thing that I say all the time, just like maybe a little more, maybe just a little bit more. I don't know, I am an excessive person. I'm a total extremist. I really am though. Like if I'm eating healthy, I'm like totally eating healthy. Or if I'm fasting, like nothing can break me. But then once the fast is over and life goes back to normal, it's done, you know? Are you guys like that too? Just me? Don't leave me alone out here, you know? All right, so that looks good. And then what we are going to do, oh my God, this smells so freaking bomb. I love this. I want to smell it really quick. Oh, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. I'm gonna put some more garlic. All right, so I'm gonna put garlic. If you guys want to put Parmesan cheese in here, you totally can. Actually, I think I'm gonna put a little bit. Just a little. Never hurt anybody. So this is the kind I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna use a little. I mean, who am I kidding? It's not gonna be a little. I just do like that. Keep it all together. Do you guys wanna know a really fun fact about Parmesan cheese? So there is a place in Italy where they are the only people who make real Parmesan cheese. Like literally only people in the entire world. In my dream when I was little, you guys are gonna laugh so hard, but I wanted to be a cheese taster when I was little. Like that was my actual dream. Let me smell it. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so anyway, I started doing research about cheese and I found out that that was the only place in the entire world that they had real Parmesan cheese. Okay, cool. So I'm going to bring our pan here and we're gonna stuff our chicken and then we're gonna put it in the oven. Okay guys, so I am back. I'm just putting my gloves on. If you know me at all, I always wear gloves whenever I'm touching fresh or chicken that I'm about to cut. I just cannot, I don't like touching it. So I already washed and rinsed and did everything I need to do with my chicken breast. This is the pan that we're gonna cook it in. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with some Pam really quick. Like that. This is an 8x8 pan. And then before we start laying our chicken, we're gonna take our rice. We're gonna go with a spoon and we're just gonna like line the bottom of it. Just like that. This on the bottom, like the rice on the bottom, it tastes the best to me because it's been baking and the chicken, oh my God, the chicken like cooks itself on the rice. So it's extra flavorful. Just the best thing. It's so good. I really like this dish. It's so awesome. Like, it's just comfort food, you know? And that's okay to have comfort food sometimes. So we're gonna put the most of the rice on the bottom and just pat it down like that. Okay. And it fills up pretty much the whole pan. I would probably say we're about almost an inch thick right now with rice. Do that. Like that. And just nicely pat it down. And And then I have some rice reserved. I'll show you guys how much I have reserved really quick. So this is how much I have left. And we're gonna put this in between the chicken. So here's our rice again. And then I'm gonna take my chicken, and chicken thighs like are able to be stuffed because they open up like this. So we're just gonna do like that. And not a lot, just a little bit, just enough. We're gonna roll it over, and then we're gonna put her right there, just like that. And we're gonna repeat this process. So just like that, and over like that. And when this cooks, it gets so good because the chicken inside the rice is like really fresh and delicious. And then the chicken on the bottom, or the rice on the bottom rather, oh my God, it's all like crispy and stuff because it's been cooking. It's amazing. So just like that, perfect. And then I do season the top of the chicken breast too, guys. I don't just leave it hanging. And then stuff this one. And then with the leftover rice, I put it on top. So I literally just take the leftover rice like this. And we're gonna cook this in the oven for, say, like an hour and a half. I always like to make it on 375, and then for the first hour, just like that, I put foil over it, and then for the next, for the rest of the time, I like to not have foil on it. So I'm gonna wash my hands really quick, and then we're gonna put foil and put her in the oven. Okay guys, so I just got done putting foil, or washing my hands. I'm gonna go ahead and put some foil on the pan. I'm just using this one, super cheap foil from Walgreens. I think it was like $1. It doesn't matter what you have, just use what you have. You guys know I'm such a big advocate of that. Like, don't go out and buy a ton of things for a recipe. If you don't have it, just add lid. And we're gonna put this over the chicken like that. And we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. And do one more piece of foil. For 40 minutes, and then we'll check on her. And then after 40 minutes, we're gonna put it back in the oven for like another 25, okay? All right, so here we are. I'm gonna put it in the oven, and I'll see you guys in 40 minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this off. Dang. Hey girl, she looks so good. Over. Yeah, this looks bomb. It smells even better. So now we're gonna put it back in for another 30 minutes. I like my chicken extra done. You don't want to put it in for that long. You don't have to. It was just in for 40 minutes. I'm gonna put it in for another 30. That's about an hour and 10. Okay, thanks so much. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. So it's finally done, you guys. Look at how crispy it is. The rice is all nice and crisp up, and then on the bottom, that excellence. I'm watching a movie right now. But yeah, that is my easy chicken recipe. I hope you guys loved and enjoyed. I'm gonna eat some right now. It looks so bomb. Yeah, look, you guys, I'm telling you, try this at home. Tag me. Yeah, amazing. I'm gonna go have some. You guys have a wonderful day. And let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you want more talking videos like this too, and we can get to know each other, and I can get to know you and all that. But it's done. How lovely.